Have you ever sat alone, staring at the ceiling, wondering why life feels so difficult? Why success seems so far, relationships feel unstable, and peace is so rare? You're not broken, you're just unequipped. See, most people never receive a real manual for life. They stumble through their days making the same mistakes, chasing the wrong things, trusting the wrong people, sabotaging their future without even realizing it. But here's the truth. You don't need to master 1,000 things to change your life. You only need to understand a handful of the right ones. In this video, I'm going to give you 12 powerful life lessons, wisdom that, if truly applied, will fix 93% of your problems. These lessons are rooted in daily discipline, ancient philosophy, and modern emotional intelligence. They're not just theories, they're tools you can apply starting today. You'll hear motivational quotes, real-life examples, and deep masculine truths, all delivered with clarity, power, and precision. Each of these lessons comes from hard-earned wisdom, whether it's from Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, warriors who lived by code, or men who faced the darkest of trials and still stood tall. And here's the best part. You already have everything you need inside of you. You just need the guidance to unlock it. So if you're ready to stop living on autopilot, if you're tired of feeling lost, confused, or stuck, this video is your wake-up call, because real growth begins the moment you decide to take ownership. Before we dive in, if you're a man committed to becoming stronger, wiser, and more grounded, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs it. And make sure to comment below. What's one life lesson you've learned the hard way? I read every comment, and your story might help someone else level up. Now let's get into it. Chapter 1. Discipline is freedom. Master yourself. First, there's a harsh truth that separates boys from men. Without discipline, freedom is just an illusion. Modern society tells you freedom means doing whatever you want, eat what you crave, sleep whenever you feel tired, chase pleasure. But that's not freedom. That's slavery, impulse. True freedom, lasting, unshakable, internal freedom, comes from discipline, from having control over your mind, your body, and your emotions. And that starts with the smallest choices you make every day. Let me put it this way. If you do not conquer yourself, you will be conquered by yourself. Napoleon Hill, every man knows this in his gut. If you can't get out of bed when your alarm rings, if you avoid hard conversations, if you quit when life gets uncomfortable, then how can you ever expect to handle real adversity? Think about it. How many of your problems, your stress, anxiety, failures, can be traced back to a lack of discipline? You're unhealthy? It's not the food's fault. You're broke? It's not the economy, it's your habits. You're lonely? Maybe you keep entertaining people you should have cut off a long time ago. Discipline fixes all of this. Start with your body. If your body is weak, your mind will be too. Exercise isn't about vanity, it's about resilience. It teaches you to show up even when motivation dies. The ancient Spartans understood this deeply. From a young age, they were trained not to seek comfort, but to embrace discomfort. Why? Because they knew that comfort kills strength. The modern man must reclaim that mindset. You don't need a perfect morning routine or a 10-step productivity system. You need this. Do the hard thing, especially when you don't feel like it. That is the muscle you train every single day. Here's a simple example. You wake up. Your alarm rings. One voice in your head whispers, "Just 10 more minutes." The other says, "Get up. You have goals." Which voice do you obey? That choice right there shapes your identity. The more you give in to the weak voice, the more you become him. The more you choose the strong voice, the more you become unstoppable. Let me ask you, which man are you becoming today? Another angle of discipline is emotional discipline. You must become a man who controls his temper, not a man controlled by it. The world will provoke you, people will betray you, failure will mock you. You cannot afford to react emotionally. A man who can keep his mind calm in chaos is a man who can conquer anything. As the Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius once wrote, You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. You see, when you master yourself, you stop being tossed around by life. You stop chasing dopamine, and you start chasing legacy. Your relationships improve. You stop tolerating disrespect. You draw clear boundaries. You walk away from things that weaken you. Why? Because you're not desperate. You're disciplined. And men, listen to me closely here. Discipline is not about perfection. You will fall. You will have weak days. That's part of the journey. But the man who wins in life is not the one who never falls. It's the one who gets back up, faster, stronger, and more focused than before. Let's get brutally honest. If your life feels chaotic, unproductive, or unstable, it's time to stop blaming the world. It's time to become your own commander. Here's a challenge. For the next 7 days, wake up at the same time, train your body, plan your day, and follow through. You don't need permission. Just do it. Watch how quickly your confidence returns. Watch how people start treating you differently. Watch how your problems begin to shrink. Not because the world changed, but because you changed. Because when you master discipline, the rest of your problems start solving themselves. Comment below, I choose discipline to reclaim my power. Chapter 2. Protect your energy. Not everyone deserves access to you. One of the greatest mistakes men make is giving their time, attention, and energy to people who drain them, people who offer no value, no loyalty, no purpose. And by the time you realize it, you're left exhausted, confused, bitter. Why? Because you were trying to feed people who were only there to eat, not to build with you. Let this truth sink in. You don't need more time. You need fewer distractions. Your energy is your currency. It's what fuels your goals, protects your peace, and attracts the right people into your life. When you give it to everyone, you end up bankrupt, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. This chapter is about protecting your inner space. The first lesson? Stop chasing people. If someone disrespects you, devalues you, or dismisses your worth, you owe them nothing. Not your explanations, not your effort, not your presence. You're not here to beg for love or prove your value. You are here to build, to lead, to grow. And not everyone can come with you. You need to be surrounded by people who challenge you to rise, not pull you back into your past. Let's talk reality. Some of your biggest problems come from tolerating what you should have cut off a long time ago. A fake friend who always gossips but never shows up when it matters. A toxic woman who manipulates your emotions and plays victim. A family member who constantly doubts your dreams and belittles your efforts. A coworker who smiles to your face but competes behind your back. It's not your job to fix them. It's your job to distance yourself. And if you don't, they will quietly poison your focus. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say, or think, or do, only what you do." You are not cold for walking away. You are not selfish for protecting your peace. You are wise. Energy protection isn't just about cutting people off. It's about setting strong boundaries. You don't need to answer every message. You don't need to attend every event. You don't need to say yes just to be liked. When you say yes to others, make sure you're not saying no to yourself. Remember, every time you give your energy to the wrong person, you're stealing it from your purpose. You're delaying your mission. You're betraying your future self. Here's a powerful example. Imagine a lion constantly surrounded by barking dogs. At first, he tries to roar back. Then he tries to ignore them. But over time, they wear him down. They steal his focus, his strength, his identity, until he forgets he's a lion. That's what happens to you when you stay around people who don't respect your fire. Eventually, you forget who you are. That ends today. Because here's the hard truth. Not everyone is meant to sit at your table. Some people belong outside the gates. They haven't earned the right to hear your plans, witness your growth, or speak into your life. And you need to be man enough to enforce that. Protecting your energy also means protecting your habits, your daily routines, your mindset, your sleep, your nutrition, your inputs. What you consume mentally matters as much as who you allow physically near you. You must curate your environment like a king curates his kingdom. Only allow what strengthens you, nothing less. You see, the world wants your attention. Companies fight for it. Apps manipulate it. People exploit it. But a strong man, he protects it like gold because he knows, with clarity, energy, and solitude, he becomes unstoppable. So ask yourself today, who do I need to stop texting? What do I need to stop tolerating? Where am I leaking energy? Then make the decision, protect your fire, preserve your mission, because if you don't, no one will. Comment below, I protect my energy to preserve my peace. Chapter 3. Delay gratification. Build for tomorrow, not just today. If there's one lesson that separates successful men from average men, it's this: the ability to delay gratification. In a world addicted to speed, instant food, instant money, instant pleasure, the man who can slow down, focus, and build for the long game becomes unstoppable. Let's make this clear. You can have comfort now or growth later, but not both. Most people are prisoners of the moment. They chase short-term highs while ignoring long-term consequences. They blow money to impress people. They chase relationships to feel wanted. They skip hard work to avoid pain. But here's the problem. Shortcuts create scars. Every time you choose ease over effort, pleasure over purpose, escape over endurance, you pay for it later. And the cost is always higher than you imagined. You want wealth? It means sacrificing luxury now so you can invest in something greater. You want strength? It means sweating in the gym while others sleep. You want peace of mind? It means cutting out habits that bring temporary joy but long-term regret. This principle has been known for centuries. The ancient Stoics practiced voluntary hardship. They would fast, sleep on the floor, or go without certain comforts, not to punish themselves, but to sharpen their will. As Seneca said, "Set aside now and then a number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself, 'Is this the condition I feared?'" They trained themselves to become stronger than their desires, and that's exactly what you must do. Delayed gratification is not about deprivation, it's about investment. Let's take a real example. Imagine two men. The first spends his 20s partying, chasing validation, ignoring his future. The second grinds in silence, learns skills, stacks savings, trains his body, and builds discipline. At 30, one man is drowning in regret. The other is unstoppable. Same world, same time, different choices. One man lived for now, the other built for later. Which one are you becoming? Delayed gratification is the foundation of all great achievements. Think of a sculptor. He doesn't see a statue. He sees a block of marble. He chips away hour after hour, piece by piece, trusting that what he's building will reveal itself in time. That's how you must approach your life. You might not see results right away. That's fine, because results come to the man who refuses to quit when the reward isn't immediate. Don't be seduced by comfort. Comfort is where potential goes to die. Do the things that pay off in years, not minutes. When you save money, you're buying freedom. When you read books, you're sharpening your weapon. When you show up early and stay late, you're preparing to lead. When you walk away from temptation, you're protecting your legacy. Here's another perspective. Animals chase pleasure. Men chase purpose. When you understand this, you stop asking, "What feels good?" and start asking, "What builds good?" There's no such thing as wasted effort when you're building something meaningful, even when no one's watching, even when you feel tired, even when you doubt yourself. Keep going, because your future self is counting on you. Every sacrifice now is a seed, and in time, those seeds become strength, success, and sovereignty. So next time you feel the urge to give in, pause, remind yourself, this is the price I pay to become who I said I'd be. The man who can delay gratification walks with a different energy. He's calm, focused, intentional, because he's not chasing every shiny object. He's building something unbreakable. Comment below, I delay pleasure to build my legacy. Chapter 4. Embrace pain. Turn struggles into strength. Most men run from pain. They hide it, deny it, numb it with distractions, alcohol, women, social media, food, anything that gives even a second of relief. But what if I told you pain isn't your enemy? What if pain is actually one of the most powerful teachers a man will ever have? Let's start with this truth. The obstacle is not in the way. The obstacle is the way. Marcus Aurelius. Pain reveals what needs to be fixed. It strips away your illusions and forces you to face who you really are. And if you embrace it, pain becomes fuel. Think back to the hardest moments of your life, the betrayals, the failures, the heartbreaks. You didn't just survive them, you learned from them. You grew, you hardened, you sharpened. That's the gift inside the suffering, but only if you face it head on. See, life doesn't reward the man who avoids discomfort. It rewards the man who moves through it with his head high, his eyes forward, and his fists clenched. Pain isn't there to punish you, it's there to forge you. Ancient warriors knew this well. The samurai, for example, believed in Bushido, the way of the warrior. They trained their bodies to endure, their minds to remain calm under chaos, and their spirits to accept death, not with fear, but with honor. Pain was not an enemy, it was preparation. A man who runs from pain remains a boy forever, but a man who embraces pain becomes a weapon. Let me give you a modern example. There's a man who's just been fired from his job. He's angry, humiliated, unsure of his future. He has two choices. One, he blames the company, the economy, and the world. He numbs the pain with distraction. Two, he uses that pain as fuel. He upgrades his skills, becomes relentless, starts a side business, wakes up earlier, and trains like he has something to prove. 3 years later, one of them is stuck. The other is thriving. What made the difference? Not talent, not luck. It was how they used their pain. Pain is also the gateway to purpose. When life breaks you, it also shows you who you're meant to become. That heartbreak you went through, it taught you what kind of partner you deserve. That loss you experienced, it taught you to appreciate every moment. That failure, it pushed you to grow stronger than you ever imagined. Here's what no one tells you. Every scar is proof that you refused to quit. So stop hiding your pain. Face it. Sit with it. Learn from it. If you're hurting right now, I want you to understand this. Your pain does not make you weak. It makes you real. And when you turn pain into purpose, you become dangerous. You walk through life with quiet strength. You don't flinch. You don't fold. You don't fear. Because you've been through the fire, and it didn't burn you. It built you. You want to be a great man, a man of depth, resilience, and power. Then stop asking for an easy life. Ask for the strength to endure a hard one. When you start seeing pain as preparation instead of punishment, everything changes. You'll stop saying, "Why me?" and start saying, "Try me." That's when the real transformation begins, because the strongest men in history, from Stoic emperors to battlefield generals, were not shaped by peace. They were shaped by pain, and so are you. You just have to be brave enough to use it. Comment below, "I turn pain into power." You've now learned 12 life lessons, each one with the potential to fix 93% of the problems you face. But wisdom without action is useless. If these words spoke to something deep inside of you, don't let this video be just another source of motivation. Let it be a turning point. Apply what you've learned. Rewatch the lessons when needed. Share them with a brother who's struggling. And most importantly, live them. You are not here to survive. You are here to rise. If this video helped you level up mentally, emotionally, or spiritually, do me a favor. Comment, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to the channel. More content like this is coming for men ready to take ownership and lead their own transformation. Until next time, stay sharp, stay grounded, and remember, you are your own greatest weapon.